Welcome in everybody to another lesson. Today we are going to review adding and subtracting integers. And we're going to throw in a little bit of variable equations with it too. So there'll be a little bit of new stuff, but I'm not here to fully reteach how to do it. If you're unsure of how to add or subtract integers, which include the negative numbers, please see my videos towards the end of the Basic Math 2 playlist, where I explain in great detail how to do that. But today we're just going to kind of go through it here real quick. So let's say we have -4 plus -1. Well, since they're both negative, we just add them together. You'll get -5. Your answer would be -5. Pretty simple. Alright, let's see here. How about -23 plus -43? -23 plus -43, so it's going to be like adding 23 and 43 together, then throwing a negative sign on it. So that would give you -66. That would be your answer to that. You get -66. Let's see here. What do we got? Alright. 8 plus -5. Well, in this type of addition problem, the greater absolute value of 8, absolute value of -5, the absolute value of the bigger number is positive, so you're going to get a positive result. And since it's 8 plus -5, it's going to be the same as 8 minus 5, which would give you 3. Your answer to that would be 3. 8 plus -5 is the same as 8 minus 5, so there is that. Alright, then we have 4 plus -6. Well, in this case, the greater absolute value, you have 4 and -6, the absolute value, the greater one is negative, so you're going to get a negative answer. So 4 plus -6, that would just be -2. That would be that answer. Alright, we've done some addition ones here. Let's do one more. How about -45 plus 19? So we have the greater absolute value is negative, because 45 is negative. So, and then when you have the negative being the greater absolute value, you're going to add the 19. But in negative numbers, you go backwards, of course. It wouldn't be 45 plus 19. It would be -45 plus 19. So to get that, you're going to go 19 to the right. You'll get -26. -26 would be your answer to that one. So far, we've done addition. Let's do some subtraction here. Say we have 3 minus 8. Well, whenever the first number is smaller than the second, you're going to get a negative result. What you can do is temporarily switch and pretend it's 8 minus 3, which would give you 5, then just throw in a negative sign. Your answer would be -5. So 3 minus 8 is -5. And we got 9 minus 12. So then we got 9 minus 12 here. Well, you can pretend that's 12 minus 9, then just throw in a negative sign. 12 minus 9 is 3. Throw in a negative sign, you get -3. So that would be your answer to 9 minus 12 is negative 3. Alright, we got negative 3 minus 1. This is the same as adding a negative number. You'll have negative 3 minus a number is the same as adding the negative of that number. So negative 3 plus negative 1, that's the same as, that would be negative 4. That would be your answer, would be negative 4. Alright, then we have 7 minus negative 4. If we remember the rules from basic math 2, whenever you minus minus, that becomes positive. So you'd have 7 plus 4 as a result, which would just give you 11. So that would be the answer to that equation. So let's see here. I think we're ready to do some variable equations. Okay. Evaluate each expression if x equals negative 3, y equals 8, and z equals negative 12. Alright, so we're going to do some substitution of variables again here. We're going to evaluate these following equations if x equals negative 3, y equals 8, z equals negative 12. The very first one they've given us is y minus 10. They gave us y minus 10. Well, wherever you see the y, you'll substitute in the 8 for y, so that would give you 8 minus 10, which would just give you negative 2. So it's a matter of substituting in the variables. How about, we got 12 minus z. We got 12 minus z, okay? Well, we see z is equal to negative 12, so we got to substitute in negative 12 for z. So what that's going to look like is 12 minus, then in parentheses, the negative 12. If you're ever unsure, you can always put the value for the variable you're substituting in parentheses, if that helps you out. Now, we have 12 minus negative 12. That's going to turn into 12 plus 12. 12 plus 12, well, that equals 24. So 12 minus z is 24 when you do the substitution. What's next? We got 3 minus x. Okay, so we see x equals negative 3, so you'll substitute that in for where x is. So you have 3 minus negative 3, because we substitute negative 3 in for x. Well, we have 3 minus negative 3. That turns into 3 plus 3, which would give you an answer of 6. So 3 minus x is equal to 6. Alright, what's next here? Alright, we have x minus y. So we have two variables. Well, of course, you're going to substitute in negative 3 for x, then 8 for y, so you'll have negative 3 minus 8, which would just give you negative 11. So x minus y is equal to negative 11. Alright, then we have all three, x plus y minus z. So we got to solve for all three variables here. Well, negative 3 is x, y is 8, negative 3 plus 8 minus the z is negative 12. So now you have an addition-subtraction problem. Well, when it's addition and subtraction, you just go from left to right. They have the same priority. So negative 3 plus 8, well, that's just going to be 5. You'll have 5 minus negative 12, which is equal to 5 plus 12, which therefore is equal to 17. So x plus y minus z equals 17. Alright, now we have x minus y minus z. So, of course, you're going to substitute in negative 3 for x. You'll substitute 8 in for y, negative 3 minus 8, and then negative 12 for z, minus negative 12. Well, of course, subtraction, we have all subtraction, so you can go from left to right. You have negative 3 minus 8, that's going to be negative 11, minus negative 12, which we know minus minus means plus, which would turn into negative 11 plus 12, which would just equal 1. So x minus y minus z equals 1. So basically it's just a matter of substituting in the variables, remembering how to do all your negatives, numbers, how to deal with those, how to treat them. And if you're good with adding and subtracting negative numbers and substituting in variables, you got this. So next lesson is going to be multiplication and division of integers. We will combine two sections there again, do multiplication and division of integers, and we'll have more variable equations. So that's it for today. I hope everybody has a good day. Take care.